Good morning, children. A hearty welcome to all of you for the third chapter of your maths. Our third chapter is all about data handling. Before finding out what is data handling, I will give you a small experiment or an example to be handled. If you imagine we have four groups. Okay, let us imagine our groups as red, blue, green and yellow. And you have been assigned a work to arrange the 5th, 6th and 7th children in all these four groups. So if you imagine in 5th there are 40 children, 6th there are 40 children and 7th also you will have 40 children. So we have 40 children in each class, which means to say we have 120 children. And this 120 children are to be assigned into these four groups. So what is the initiative work that you are going to do? So just imagine and tell me what is the initiative work that you are going to do. First we will see that we will put a columns of this four boxes, isn't it? We will write it as red, blue, green and yellow. So if possible, we will write all these four groups and we will make three different sheets. Is it right? If you are well enough, we will try to make columns as 5th one group, 6th one group, like that. If not possible, we will try to make one sheet each saying that this is for 5th standard. Next one more sheet we will make and we will say this is for 6th standard. Is it not? So this is nothing but called as, first of all, assumption of the data. First of all, you should know what is how to create your data. The second one will be called as collecting of data. So first you have to collect some data. So how would you collect data in this particular example? We will call the 5th standard students, isn't it? We will call all the 5th standard students, make them stand and then we will start selecting one by one. First we will ask the children to stand in line, that is one by one, and we will ask them to divide into one group. So by this we start as collecting of data. The data is been collected. Once you collect all the data, then what will you do? After collecting data, okay, we have collected data from all the classes, that's enough. Is it? No, we have to organize data. Organize data. See, what is organizing data? Just collect the information of all the groups and make them as four groups and leave it off. We will assign a leader, isn't it? We will try to assign a leader and we will ask them what work they have to do and what have to be cultivated equally, isn't it? So this is called as organizing of data, making a correct proper group and saying in each group what are the qualities we have. So as I give an example, based on this, first one will be the collecting of data and the other one will be the organizing of data. For example, if you take your maths marks for the first term, okay, if you imagine there are 30 members in the class, okay, do you think each one would have got the same marks? No, not at all, isn't it? So what the class teacher has to do or the maths teacher has to do? First, she will have to collect the data. First, she has to collect them in a correction marks. She has to collect all the papers of your one by one. She has to collect. After collecting, what the next step is? Collecting of data. Next one is organizing the data. To organize the data, the teacher has to write the names of the students and write their marks. So she has to make two columns in a sheet and write the names one by one and write their names, write their marks correctly, isn't it? If you imagine, if you have Amir, Balu, Chandan, Deepa, E, right? Elizabeth. So we will take example of 5 students. Usually when a teacher write, they write in the alphabetical order only, isn't it? So here, if we take marks as 20, 18, 19, 18 again and 15. So we will get marks also eventually. So this is how the teacher will organize the data. Is it clear, children, with an example? Yes. First you will collect the data and then you have to organize the data. This is the part of data handling. The next we will move on to the arithmetic mean. What is arithmetic mean? So all the data that we have collected, we call it as observations. So these observations we will calculate in such a way that sum of the observations, sum of all the observations. So whatever data you have collected, sum of the observation or sum of the datas divided by total number of data or total number of observation. Total number of observation. So it is considered as sum of all the observation or data by total number of observation or data. This is called as arithmetic mean. So when you calculate arithmetic mean, we will say arithmetic mean is equal to sum of all the observations by number of observations. So by this only we calculate how many arithmetic mean is there. What is the arithmetic mean? Is it clear, children? And next we will see what is a range. So what is a range? Range is nothing but the difference between the highest observation and the lowest observation. Highest observation. What is highest observation? Among all the data that you have collected, what is the highest data? And subtracted it by the lowest data or lowest observation. And this we call it as a range. If you add list of numbers like 23, 24, 25, 36, 42 and 83. Among this, which is the highest observation? Here our highest observation is 83. Which is our lowest observation? 23. Now if you subtract, 3 minus 3 is 0. 8 minus 2 is 6. So 60 is our range. So now with the example, have you understood what is a range? The subtract difference between the highest observation and the lowest observation is called as our range. Among these numbers, if you find, the 83 is the highest observation and 23 is the lowest observation. In this difference, we will write 60 as the answer. Now, in this particular sum, 60 is the range. Question here, children. Example, a batsman scored of the following number of runs in the 6th innings. So we know what about cricket much better, right? So he has attended 6 innings. In the 6th innings, his scores is like this. In the first innings 36, second 35, third is 50, fourth 46, fifth is 60 and the last one is 55. So our question is, calculate the mean runs scored by him in this innings. So what is the formula for mean? Arithmetic mean is equal to sum of observations by number of observation, right? So first we have to do the sum of observation. Let us start. 36 plus 35 plus 50 plus 46 plus 60 plus 55. So now calculate and tell me what is the sum here by number of observation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So our number of observation is 6 here. And when you calculate, let us put a margin here and start calculating. 36 plus 35 plus 50 plus 46 plus 60 plus 55. Here we have 5, 5, 10, 6, 6, 12. So 10 plus 12 it is 22. 2 is a carry here. Okay, 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 10, 20. 20 plus 6, 26. 26 plus 2, 28. So our answer is here 282 by 6. So let us start dividing it here. 282 by 6. 2 doesn't go. So in 7th standard I need not teach division newly. So 28. How many times 28 will go in 6? 4s are 24. So again 4 remains. Bring the 2 down. 42. 7s are 42. 0, 0. So what is the mean here? The mean is 47. Okay. Now look at the second question, children. Here the ages of years of 10 teachers. The ages in years of 10 teachers of a particular school. So they are been listed out here. Here your first question is, which is the oldest teacher and which is the youngest teacher? So if you list it out as oldest teacher, let us start as solution or answer. So which is the oldest teacher among all this one? 32, 41, 28, 54, 35, 26, 33, 23, 33, 38 and 40. So we have 54 is the oldest. So who will be the youngest? Youngest? Which is the youngest here? So we will have 23. So this is our first question is solved. Second question, find the mean. So let us start finding the mean. 32 plus 41 plus 28 plus 54 plus 35 plus 26 plus 23 plus 33 plus 38 plus 40 by how many teachers here? The name itself is given here. It is 10. So now let us add here 32, 41, 28, 54, 35, 26, 23, 33, 38 and 40. Add children. 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 20, 26, 29, 30, 40. 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So we get 360 here. So this 360 you divide by 10. So here we can easily gauge, right? Divide by 10, you will get answer as 36. So our mean is 36. So our second question has been done. So the third one is, what is the range? So if you ask what is the range, what we know what is the formula of range. the highest minus lowest. So here highest and lowest is already distinguished in the beginning itself. So we will write R is equal to 54 minus 23. 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. So our mean is 31. Okay, let us move on to the exercise 3.1. Sum number 1, 2 is easy. I think all the 9 sums are easy only. Only to find the mean and find the range. But if this is little confusive, I'll just solve it for you. Find the mean of first 5 whole numbers. So when you say whole numbers, which are the first 5 whole numbers, children, here? That is, we start from 0. We never start from 1 with a whole number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and only 4. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We will get all the 5 whole numbers here. Now we have to find the mean. Mean is equal to 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by 5. So it's given as first 5 whole numbers. So now start adding, children. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 by 5. When you 10 by 5, what will be the answer? 2. So the arithmetic mean is equal to 2. Is it not easy? Look at the fifth sum. Following table shows the point of each player's score in 4 different games. And here I am giving the table for you, which is already given in your textbook. Here I am putting it in the short. Now look here. Here the players are there and we are giving it as A, B and C. And the games we are listing it here as game 1, game 2, game 3 and game 4. And here are the scores that they have participated and they have scored. Here our first question is, what is the mean of A? To find out what is the mean of A, we have to just 14 plus 16 plus 10 plus 10 divided by 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let us add 4 plus 6, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get here 50 by 4. So when you have to divide 50 by 4, we will take it here. 50 divided by 4. 4 ones are 4. Subtract. You get 1. Take the 0 down. 10 doesn't go in 4, isn't it? So we'll take 2. 2s are 8. Subtract. We get 2 here. Because 2 doesn't go in 4, we put a pointer and try to bring a 0 down. And 4 5s are, it is 20. When you subtract, you get 0, 0. So here the mean will be 12.5. Our second question is, they have asked that to find the mean of C. To find the mean of C, whether the number should be divided by 3 or by 4. What do you think, children? It should be divided by 3 or it should be divided by 4? Here our answer will be, C should be divided by 3. She should be divided by 3 because C did not play, right? C did not play game 3. Game 3. So this is the answer for the second one. So C should be divided by 3 because C did not play game 3. Is it clear, children? We will go to the next sum. Okay. The third one says that B has played all the 4 games. So whether B should be divided by 3 or 4. So here again, to find the mean of B, so B's mean will be as 0 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 divided by 4, which mean to say it is 18 by 4. Again, to find the mean here, we have to find 18 by 4. 4 4s are 16. Again, you will get 2 remainder. 0.05 20 0 0. So here the mean of B will be 4.5. Now the last question is, who is the best performer? To find out who is the best performer, we have found the mean of A and also we have found the mean of B. But whereas we have not found the mean of C. Once if you find the mean of C, we will be able to recognize who is the best player among all the three. So let us find the mean of C. Now D1, the D1 is asked as who is the best performer. To find out who is the best performer, we have taken the mean of A and we have taken the mean of B. But whereas we have not taken the mean of C. So let us find out what is the mean of C and then see who is the best performer. So C's mean. So when you say C's mean, it is 8 plus 11 plus 13. So when you add, it is 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 carry. 2 plus 1 is 32. 32 by 3. We don't divide it by 4. So let us divide it here. So 32 by 3. 3 ones are 3. 0. 2 doesn't go, isn't it? We write 0 and bring one more 0 here. So it becomes point. Let us divide 32 by 3. 3 ones are 3. 0 remainder. We bring 2 down. So when we directly take 2 down, we put it 0 here and put a point so that we will get one more 0 here. So 3 6 are, it is 18. Subtract, you get 2. Again you get as recurring 2's. You know what is recurring 2's and recurring 3's, okay? As many zeros you add, you will get the remainder as 2 again there. So we will take the answer as 10.6. So now A's mean is 12.5, B's mean is 4.5 and C's mean is 10.6. So here we have A, B and C. Which is the highest student? Who is the best performer here? So here A is the best performer because A is having a mean of 12.5. Are you clear with the sum here, children?